What motivated you to pursue this traditional life? Were you raised on the farm somewhere? I mean, were you raised in this way? Or was it a conscious choice to become this thing?
Once upon a time in PHC, a married couple gave birth to the cutest kid, destined to preach the hand of God was upon him. But the road ahead of him wasn't easy until he found Christ, whose yoke is easy. Now everything is easy peasy weezy for cheesy. Really easy picking cheese mixed with joyful living. When you give your life to Christ, life is sweet and creamy. Yum yum, tastes like heaven on a bed of roses. Come, I see some say that's not the way it is. But you don't know the power Jesus gives. You carry your cross after the cross with power he gives thee. Power that exceeds the wildest dreams and fantasies of Samson. Yep, the power of the Spirit. Problem is you don't know the power given to thee or how to use it, so I'm here to teach thee.
You can be a Tradwife, like my guest, Estee Williams, a 25-year-old woman who has gone viral. I'm sure you've seen her TikToks and Insta stories and MySpace posts and Zanga journals and AOL Instant Messenger emojis and anything else. She's been the subject of very nasty articles by the libs in the media. Estee, thank you for coming on the show.
You know, it's funny, why would they write negative articles about this lady? I thought it's all about inclusivity and letting people be what they want to be. She wants to be a Tradwife. Why don't you let her?
Articles by the libs in the media. Estee, thank you for coming on the show.
Hi, Michael, and thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. First off, when I first saw your name, I was tempted to pronounce it Estee, as in louder, but it is Estee.
Yes, no accent, so the American version.
very American, very traditional. For those who don't know, Estee, what is a Tradwife?
Well, a Tradwife is just short for traditional wife, and it is a homemaker, and she cooks, she cleans, she takes care of the home and the children, if there are any, and the online world gave it the term Tradwife for short.
What motivated you to pursue this traditional life? Were you raised on the farm somewhere? I mean, were you raised in this way? Or was it a conscious choice to become this thing?
Well, I was somewhat raised traditional. My mom was a traditional wife until my parents got divorced. And then, of course, that threw our family for a spin. And I think I felt the need to fit the mold of the world and go get a degree, find a career. And I did go to college for almost 2 years, and then I dropped out because secretly I always wanted this lifestyle. Of course, you need a husband to have this lifestyle. So when I met my now husband, everything just came into place. And that's really the inspiration behind it. It's just, it was a dream.
So do you think that one of the driving forces behind the traditional movement for men and especially for women who want to be Tradwives, do you think it's things like divorce? Do you think it's people coming from a culture that is broken, that lived out all of the pathologies of the liberal age of Aquarius, hippy-dippy sexual revolution and realize that the fruits of that revolution were just poison, and so they're rebelling against that?
Yeah, I think that's actually a great point. And at least for my generation, I grew up being told that you need a career and the boss babe era, right? And I think a lot of women are realizing that they want to embrace this natural role as a woman and be a mother, be a wife, and that is enough. You don't need a career to feel fulfilled as a woman.
How has your family reacted to it?
My family is nothing but supportive, and in fact, a lot of the women in my family are boss babes, but we celebrate each other's differences and what make all of us happy, and they've shown nothing but support.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. Do they think you're a little crazy? I mean, I know, because I have a lot of liberal family and a lot of liberal friends. I grew up in New York, and perhaps I consciously, moved away from some of those ideas too, but they think I'm nuts. They're kind of nice about it, most of them, but they think I'm pretty crazy. Do they think that about you?
Well, they definitely thought I was crazy when I dropped out of college. I was studying to be a meteorologist. And when I told them, yeah, I met my husband, I'm dropping out of college, they're like, you're nuts.
Why not? Why? You don't need the BS degree and you don't need the BA degree if what you're going for is the MRS degree and you're able to get that in 2 years.
That's absolutely right. Honestly, I think
You see what he did, the MIS degree as a Mrs., unlike the MISS as in an unmarried woman, the title before an unmarried woman.
back to our roots and kind of like doing what our grandmothers, maybe some of our grandmothers did. It is really giving women this fulfillment and filling their hearts with joy to take care of their family.
Now, is there a kind of a contradiction with...
It's interesting that now going against the grain actually means being traditional and doing what was once common before a woman to do. But keep in mind that traditional basically means classic, and classic is classic because it stood the test of time.
Being a tradwife who is very publicly a tradwife on social media, meaning you are probably the most identifiable figure of this whole movement. But it's a movement that says women should basically be homemakers and running private life. So does it undermine the trad life to be a public Insta-celebrity trad wife?
That's an interesting question. But modern times we all have cell phones and all that. And I would say something very important about this whole trad wife situation. What should be boosted is not that women have to stay at home or women should stay at home. What should be is that women being homemakers and running the home should not be demonized, should not be pushed away.
That's interesting. I get those comments all the time, like, how are you a tradwife? You're online. And it's like, well, I guess 1950s tradwives weren't tradwives if they're using dishwashers and washing machines. If women in the 1800s weren't using those, I think as time goes on, like, life is changing and we live in an online world. And I've been using that to my advantage to really try and inspire younger women who maybe deep down have this desire to be a tradwife, but they're being told, no,